You're such an asshole.
So I could have swore I did a Clarey test on this guy before, because the guy who emailed the request, he says, "Hey, can you do a Clarey test on Akira Toriyama?" I said, I thought we did. And he looked, he says, "No, I didn't." And I said, "Well, okay. Maybe it was something else. Maybe it was some obviously anime related." Hi, Aaron. I wanted to get back to you about the Clarey test request I did on Akira Toriyama. I searched through the channel. I'm afraid I didn't find a Clarey test on him. I think you might be referring to the video "The Truth About Dragon Ball Z" on your Boomer review of Dragon Ball Z. In addition to the videos, Vegeta would be a STEM major and Goku would pay off his student loans. Both are true. But sadly, I've not found a Clarey test on Akira Toriyama. So I said, okay, well, let's do it then. And predating Dragon Ball Z, I ran in him with Dragon Quest or Dragon Warrior back in the mid 80s. So this guy was, well, I don't think I'd be overstepping my bounds saying he's probably the most influential Japanese animator of all time, right? Kind of up there somewhere. But he did pass away recently, so let's go through it. I'm just going to assume, not because I like hardworking people, but because he passed away early. He probably worked until he was dead. Born 55 to 2024, so that is 70 years? No, is he that old? Hang on, 69 years? That's relatively, especially for you Japanese guys. You guys live like 120, so this guy died like young. 2024 minus 1955. Wow, 69. All right, maybe it's just younger pictures I see of the guy. Was a Japanese manga artist and character designer, widely regarded as one of the greatest and most influential authors of history of manga, and created numerous highly influential and popular series, his most famous being Dragon Ball. Mainstream recognition for creating the manga series Dr. Slump. Slump went on to sell 35 million copies in Japan. Adapted to an anime, was the second series created in 1997. 13 years after. Man, they got long runs over there. 13 years. From 84 to 95, he wrote an illustrated Dragon Ball manga, serialized in Weekly Shonen Jump. Became one of the best-selling manga series of all times with 216 million copies. So, man, it is so awesome. I'd be happy if I had 1 million copies of any one of my books. I'd be done. I'd be like, no, I'm done. This guy sold 250 million copies. And is considered a key work in increasing manga circulation to its peak in the mid-1980s to mid-1990s. Overseas, Dragon Ball's anime adaptations have been more successful than the manga and similarly boosted anime's general popularity. Beside his manga works, a Dragon Quest series, Chrono Trigger, and Blue Dragon. It was decorated a Chevalier of the French Ordre des Arts et des Lettres. You know, you got to spell it dumb like that. I know French. I don't know French. I know that the language French is you just slur all your words. So that was probably pronounced decorated Chevalier of the French. Right, but I'm going to read it the way it was written. Ordre des Arts et des Lettres for his contributions to the arts. In October of 2024, Toriyama was posthumously inducted into the Harvey Awards Hall of Fame. All right. Born in Kyosu, younger sister, drew pictures young age, animals, remembered being blown away after seeing 101 Dalmatians. Shocked and decided, see, yeah, it's going to be all about his becoming an animator. Took a break because he probably more interested in TV and films. Again and again, when he saw a television set for the first time at his neighbor's house, he cited, okay, so, well, he didn't have TV. Well, they're still relatively bombed out by 1955. So they probably did not grow up in wealth, especially given the condition of Japan in 1955. No brainer, attended high school, admitted Despite his parents' strong oppositions, Toriyama was confident about going into the workforce upon graduation instead of continuing his education. Worked at an advertising agency in Nagoya, designing posters for 3 years. He worked his entire life, it looked like. Not a morning person, got reprimanded for dressing casually. Early work, quitting his job at the age of 23 and asking his mother for money while unemployed. Toriyama entered the manga industry while submitting work. Wow, so parents did kind of pay for him a little bit. See, it doesn't sound like his parents were super wealthy. Like he had to go and work. But then he went and he asked mom for money. Huh? Hmm? Hmm. I'm not going to give him a point against that. Okay, you asked your mom for a little bit of money when you were 23. Telegram, where it says published work, 1978. It's just a long and impressive career. I'm just trying to find the key things. Work. Dr. Slump. Some 35 million copies in Japan. 81, Dragon Ball, 83 to 97. Ba-da-ba, 350 million copies of manga sold worldwide. Short stories and other projects to 2011. Okay, what happened to 2011? Return to Dragon Ball, 2012 to 2024. See, worked till he was dead. Jocko the Galactic Patrolman, Resurrection F. He continued to provide stories. Dragon Ball Super Broly, Superhero 2022. A logo Toriyama design. I'm just trying to figure out when he died. Did he die in an accident? Because it looks like the guy keeps on going. Personal life and death. All right. Married to one gal. He was a recluse. He didn't go out. In an extension to his shyness. Huh. Had a love of cars and motorcycles. Something he inherited from his father. Used to race motorbikes and operate an auto repair business for a brief time. Animal lawyer, All right, so he didn't come from wealth. He didn't go to college. Death. All right. Subdural hematoma. But everyone's supposed to know what is subdural hematoma? All right. Type of bleeding in which collection of blood, usually but not always associated with traumatic brain injury, gathers in between inner layer of the dura and is it a brain hemorrhage? Okay. Ribs and arteries. Internal bleeding. Seizures, dizzy causes. Now I'm just going to do this. Is paste subderma a stroke? No, subdermal hematoma is not a stroke. Collection of blood that forms between the brain and the inner layer of the skull after an injury. Confusion is not a stroke itself. Well, how did that lead to death? Okay, he died of it. I'm just a little bit more. Death. Died at 68. Acute subdural hematoma. Private funeral. Plan to undergo brain surgery for a brain tumor. Oh, okay. News of the death caused an outpouring of grief. On Twitter, the trending topics of Akira Toriyama, Dragon Ball surpassed President Joe Biden's State of the Union is right. Because, well, why wouldn't it? Tributes, da 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 da. Okay, so I think we got everything here. He did not come from wealth, although asking mom for money was a little of a bit of weak sauce. He worked until he was dead. He didn't go to college for stupid shit. And yes, he does have real world working experience. So the guy's got a perfect score. Would I like to have a beer with him? Hell yeah, I'd like to have a beer with him. Should he have or could he have ran for office? Absolutely. I don't know how much interest he'd have in it. I don't know how good of a statesman he'd be, but yeah, the guy worked his entire life. Yeah, I would definitely want to have a beer with him. Absolutely. It takes balls like, nope, I'm not going to college. No, I'm gonna become an animator and to do it and to become the most successful one, I think in all of Japan. That's it. There you guys go. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.